Okay, camera's on, visor down. Let's do this thing. I'll wait for that truck to come by us. I don't need to get out in front of him. There he goes. The Titan. Alrighty. It's another hot day, but the wind feels really good, so I'll take that. When I was getting ready to leave and I'm messing around in the shop building and there's no air in there and it's really hot, I was like, man, do I even want to ride today? It's so hot out. And I thought to myself, yeah, you go ahead and get yourself out into the wind and you'll be alright. Here we are. I'm trying to make it to this turn down here. There was so much less wind yesterday on the ride home in the evening. I mean, it was just beautiful outside. Absolutely beautiful. I was so happy that I didn't take the car. When I was riding the bike, I felt really good. Alright, here's our turn right here. I'm hoping this car doesn't need to make the same turn, but alright. He did need to make the same turn. We're going to pull over and let him go. Okay. Okay. On our way to work. I was riding this back road here and I was slowed way down. I was doing maybe 40. So couldn't see that well with the headlight on this bike, and I didn't want to do anything crazy, so I was just enjoying it. I was just pedaling down here kind of like this speed and just enjoying the beautiful evening air. Saw a shooting star. That's cool. You know, rode through a sprinkler. That's cool. This is just such an enjoyable ride home last night, and if that's what riding's all about, those enjoyable moments, then I'm in for life. That was one of the most relaxing things I've done in my whole life, and it was an interesting contrast because you have like riding during the day right now where it's really hot, and yesterday I was worried. This is my first time riding the bike on surface streets really, and so I was really worried, and then the contrast between that and then riding home at night where I'm slowed down, it's late, there's not a lot of traffic out, there's basically none on this route right here, and so nobody caught up to me, I didn't catch up to nobody, and I was just cruising, super happy, relaxed, and just keeping my eyes on the road, not going fast, keeping an eye out for obstacles, and it was really a good feeling. It was really, really enjoyable, and I look forward to many more moments like that. Hopefully I'll get another one on the way home tonight. That'd be great. Another enjoyable moment. Riding pleasure in the evenings. Even if I think I had a more capable motorcycle, I think I probably still would have enjoyed just cruising at 40 miles an hour through here at night. It's just so nice. And I wonder if maybe, you know, because my daily car is a convertible, and I wonder if maybe I'm missing out on something, because I do take the top off of it probably 70% of the time, even when it's hot like this. I drive it with the top off a lot, and like maybe because I drive so fast, like maybe I'm missing out on something. Maybe I should slow down and smell the roses, as they say, every once in a while. Stand in the middle of the road and just kind of enjoy life a little bit more than I do. I've been living to go fast pretty much my whole life. I mean, my high school senior quote, as cheesy and corny as it is, but you know, you're in high school, you're probably just corny, was "Speed is freedom of the soul." And as corny as that is, you know, and it's from a even cornier movie, it does mean something to me. Just the fact that when I'm going fast and I have to put all my mental focus on that discipline, there's a freedom to it. You're not thinking about anything else but going fast. And I think motorcycles have that same kind of emotion to them. There's a focus you have to have when you're riding, even if you're not going fast. And just be focused on your discipline, so you're not really thinking about all the other things that are going around in the world. I mean, if I could, you know, turn my mind off 127%, I wouldn't even have this video thing going on. But my mind does tend to wander even when I'm focused on things, and I just thought it'd be interesting if I had a way to just let those thoughts come out into verbal form. And that's, you know, doing a motovlog, I think, was the best way to do that, because my commute to work is kind of my thinking time. It's my time to myself where I can think about my world's view and how I think about things, and self-analyzing, all that kind of stuff. Motorcycles adds an interesting twist to all of that, because now you're way more focused on the route and what you're doing. Because usually, you know, I pretty much try to get on the highway as quickly as I can in my car, and I set the cruise control and I'm just cruising, and either I'm listening to music and letting my thoughts just ramble on, or I'm kind of thinking in the background and I'm listening to a podcast or a YouTube video. So, motorcycles, it's a little bit more interesting, because I can really think about things in my life, but also have a really interesting discipline that I can focus on at the same time. That's taking the primary portions of my, you know, what my brain's capabilities are, and that keeps me from overthinking things and going too far, because I can't get that deep into thought while I'm riding. That's cool. Here's the fun parts up here. Watch for that little bit of bumpiness in the road there. It is super interesting how different people's minds are, or can be. It was recently brought to my attention that some people don't have an internal monologue. I certainly do, but some people don't. And that's an interesting thing to wrap your mind around, either if you have one or you don't have one, to think about the other person's perspective. You know, for me, thinking that people's minds are just doing things and thinking about things without having that voice that's kind of more or less narrating, thinking aloud the way that I'm talking to you now, it's basically just letting my inner voice become my physical voice. I'm just letting that thing just go wild while my main mind is focusing on riding the motorcycle. And it's weird, because I guess, yeah, there is quiet sections to it. There's times where it's just kind of, it doesn't have anything more to say. It's just quiet for a second or two. And then for me, I'll see something of interest and it'll kick right back on again. This road is really fun. windy today. Again, you see, I don't know how well the camera picks it up, but if you look at the trees and bushes and things that are on the side of the road, how much they're moving, and that kind of gives you an idea of the extra wind I'm having to go against here, other than the speed of the bike. See all those little whipping things, those little white things just going crazy. We do get 70-mile-an-hour gusts up here on this mountain quite regularly. That's not an uncommon thing at all. So certainly won't be riding a bike on a day like that. That's crazy talk there. It's not even fun to drive a car when the winds are that crazy. Could be crazy, but I just feel like this ride's going a little bit faster than yesterday. I don't think I'm physically traveling any faster. I think my mind's just a little more, it's adapting to the pace to be expected here on the bike. Because yesterday it felt like it was taking ages to get to certain checkpoints, like this stop sign, that I'm used to reaching in a car so quickly. Okay. Unintentional trail braking there. That's not a good thing. There's a lot of farm animals up here. It's a rural town, so you'd expect that. But there's not a lot of cows, really. Not that I know of. I know a few spots of farms that have cows. I guess that'd be a farmer ranch. I'm gonna say farm for now. There's not a lot of farms that have cows, but I do know of a few. Most people up here have horses, goats. Everybody has chickens. Some people have turkeys, sheep, those kind of animals, pigs. I mean, we have goats and pig and chickens, so we're not immune to the rural lifestyle here. It's grown on us over time. When I first moved out here, I moved out here for the land and for the cost of living, and that I could have a shop to myself and not have to worry about dealing with HOAs and such. I'll let this guy go. Go ahead there, buddy. Alright, good. Oh, there we go. I think that guy maybe caught a glimpse of me right before the main straight, and that's one of the few passing zones for miles, so I think he tried to catch up to me, because I looked behind me in the mirrors and there wasn't really anybody there, and then by the end of the passing zone he was there, so I think he was trying to catch me in the passing zone. So most people, they won't really let you by, so I know that I'm moving slowly. I don't need to hold anybody up. So if I get a nice opportunity, I'll go ahead and let you go by. I gotta reach my face. There we go. Alright. leaning a motorcycle thing is really quite an interesting concept, because you know, someone as a beginner rider like me has never really ridden fast enough up until this last 2 days to warrant a solid lean. Oops. But I mean, I'm sure I did lean quite a bit riding bicycles as a kid and stuff. But it's weird that it just kind of becomes second nature really quick. And you can just lean the bike pretty easily without thinking about it. It's not something you have to think about, it just kind of happens. With those nice leans, beautiful leans. I mean, they're not a lot of angle, but they feel good. Nice crosswind there. Have to go down a gear here. Maybe even 2. Yep. Yeah, coming through here last night, just cruising. I mean, I guess not that much slower, if anything, than the pace I'm going right now. But it just felt so much like someone was going to catch me eventually, and nobody ever did. I mean, right now it feels like I'm kind of clipping along at a nice solid little pace, and I'm not flying by any means, but I'm just cruising. And last night I was probably going similar speed, but it really felt like I was slow and just relaxed and chilling. Nice. Perfect. I see those trash cans. We don't have a trash service here, so those people rent those things. I've often wondered how much they cost, but we have to go to the dump to dump our garbage, and it's become really inconvenient. And we were weighing our options there for a while, what would be the most cost-effective and easiest thing to live with. And we ended up just buying a utility trailer. Decided that was the easiest thing to do. A lot of people do the trash cans. They rent them from Waste Management, and they I don't know how much they cost, but they come and get them. Don't gotta deal with it. The rural living lifestyle, having to worry about those kinds of things. I'm assuming it's RF equipment, but I'm just not sure what kind of RF equipment that's for. I don't know if it's some kind of repeater tower or what it is. Strange looking stuff there. That guy's clipping at a good pace. We're catching up to a group of slow people. If we're catching them now, that means in the sharper turns after the fire station, we're definitely going to be all up on top of them. But this should be the fastest, one of the faster sections of this road. chevrons. There we go, nice and easy. Passing up on the fire station now, which means we got the twisty bits up ahead. Which yesterday I was excited to take the bike down the twisty bits and see how it would be like. And I got so preoccupied with telling a story. I think it was the story of the Camaro on the turnpike when I got pulled over. And I just didn't even think about it. I just rode right through it. And I didn't realize till after it was done. I was like, oh, wait a minute. I wasn't even focused on those corners. I just rode right through them. I mean, I'm sure I was focused enough to, you know, do a decent job at it for a beginner biker that's only been riding for about 2 hours or so at the time. But still, I was kind of more wanting to focus and kind of see some turn-ins and stuff and focus on these corners a little bit, which now we can do. Now I can put a little bit more of all my brain, not just my main brain, but the one that's talking too. We can focus on here. Because usually, you know, in a car you duck in out right there and then you tuck in and you stay tucked, which for a bike I think would work too. And you would come way out like this, and then a car you just straight cut this. For a bike I think I'm going to do the same, but you start slowing down here. In a car I don't really slow down, but with a bike I'm going to. And you just cut it real hard right here, and then it's a little comes back the other way. I told you we were going to catch up to those people here. Not a big deal. I'm not in a hurry. Nice little line this guy's got backed up here. There's the Lexus that was going really fast earlier. It'll give me some good protection for people cutting this corner though. That's good. They are going really slow. I mean, I'm riding the brakes and I'm still catching them. On this little thing. Got another car behind me. I'm going to see if I can let him by here pretty soon. I'm not really wanting to be in the sandwich zone, you know what I mean? At the same time, man, we're going slow here. That little curbing looks... I don't know what it would be like to go over that. I don't know if it would be like really easy and I'm kind of overthinking it, or that curbing would actually give you some kind of a challenge. Here we go, perfect. Okay, we're good. The clutch as far as shifting at speed. I haven't gotten that beautiful super smooth shift yet. Mazda Protege. That was my brother's first car, and boy, we got sold a bill of goods on that car. They called it Grady because I had a little emblem on the back that said Grady. I think it was probably a dealership it got sold at some point. But little Grady, my brother and my parents had me try to find a car for my brother, his first car, and he didn't have a lot of money. And we were looking around, and I was on vacation visiting them, and so I didn't have a lot of time, and we found this little Mazda Protege. It was like $1,800 or something. I don't really remember it. Maybe it was a lot more than that. I really don't remember. But either way, it was like a 2000 okay car, not great, needed some work, needed some shocks and stuff, but we took it for a test drive, and we drove okay. It seemed to have AC and stuff, and everything seemed to be working to some degree, and it seemed like an okay first car. So we took it back to the dealership, and it was like a mom and pop place. We paid the man, got the title paperwork, and we're no more than like 2 miles down the road, and that thing's transmission started slipping. And I was like, man, we've been had. So there was a lot of talk about what to do with that car. We ended up putting shocks on it. I think there was maybe thoughts of maybe trying to fix the transmission, and either way, that car sat around for a long time. Sat around for like 2 years. Nobody ever drove it. I mean, at the time my brother bought it, and the time that it got to its next person, which was my aunt and uncle, it was probably accumulated less than 100 miles, I imagine. And it ended up getting sold to my aunt and uncle, and I don't really know what they did with it. I know the last time I saw the car, they were driving it, and then I guess he'd be my Uncle Doug. He's just Doug to me, but the Doug had blown a belt on it, main serpentine belt for the power steering pump and alternator. And I was hanging out in the kitchen. This was right after I got out of the military, and I was kind of, you know, coming back to civilian life. I was staying with my parents for a little while, and he comes in the kitchen where I am, and he's got a Yorkie in his hands. He's wearing flip-flops, and he's just like, something's wrong with the car. I don't know. And all the lights came on. I was like, oh, okay. Can you take a look at it? Okay. So I go and look at it, and yeah, sure enough, he had blown the belt. It was blown to smithereens. So a grown man couldn't even figure out his belt was totally destroyed. It's a weird thing. Baby, there ain't no catching them for me. We left that Ram in the dust though. That guy's out for a Sunday drive, no doubt. Apparently, according to the forums, this bike really loses its MPGs at wide open throttle. But here in California, where the speed limits are high, man, you're wide open throttle like a lot of the time just to keep up. So I don't know. We'll have to see. There we go. Okay. This little corner should be so fun, but it's got these little bumpy whoops in the center of it. So it makes it a little less fun because it's less predictable. Got the box truck over here. Who knows what he's doing? Box truck stuff, I guess. Oh, he's broken. Oh, that sucks, man. It's way too hot to have a broken truck today. Open throttle. Just pin it to win it. Yeah, I mean my little scooter, my Trail 125, like, I guess, I mean, other than the fact it's just not that big, you probably could ride it to work the same way I ride this to work, because this thing ain't any faster, really. Anybody that's got one of these XRs and tries to convince you it's faster than a Trail 125, listen, it is, but marginally. Like, we're really splitting hairs, you know what I mean? You're basically trying to convince me that the blue M&M is better than the yellow M&M. Like, I mean, is it? It doesn't matter. If anything, like, yeah, maybe this one accelerates faster. But I'd have to drag race the two of them to really know for sure, because their red one is small. Got a little engine on it, but she can get down and boogie when she wants to. Mailman behind us, delivering the postage. The GoPro's not gonna like this heat. It seems way hotter down here in the valley today than it was up the hill. Depends on how much stopping we have to do, I suppose. The wind does help. I need to make some modifications to the case, but I had a doctor's appointment this morning, so there's just no time to get in there and do a lot of things. Alright, coming up on the Demogoni. Ready to make our turn here. We'll choose the left side for an escape route on this one. There we go. Ain't too shabby. Don't worry, buddy. I'm not gonna try to shortcut you. We're cruising. I don't know about this, you know, splitting the lanes on a turn. It's kind of weird. I don't like that. Filtering maybe, but splitting, it's a little bit different story. A lot of buildup on the road here. Loose sand and stuff. It's good to know for later. Know where your little points of potential slickness are. Chevy HHR. Feel like it's been a while since I've seen one of those in decent shape. Like that one. That one looked pretty decent. Not that that's a good car worth, you know, protecting in any way, but it's been a while, I guess. I mean, today at my doctor's appointment, I saw that somebody had like a 93, 94 Celica convertible, and it was minty clean, like super nice car. Those older guys probably had it for, you know, forever. I don't want to get over but yeah, I mean, you don't see many of those cars either, you know, 93, 94 Celica convertible. I don't know if it was a stick or an auto, but either way, we just don't see a lot of those cars in great shape anymore. It is a little weird for me, just because I am getting, you know, a little bit older, to think that those cars, you know, they're 30-year-old cars, and most people have done away with them unless they really cared about it. But those are the cars I bought when I was in the military and stuff, and I was just buying cheap cars. It was, you know, 90s Japanese cars. That was what was available. It was cheap. They were reliable. I've owned two Celicas, a 99 and a 2000. My 99 tried to kill me, for sure. My 2000, it's just kind of like a deal. The car just kind of came around. It was a deal. I took the deal and I used it to get a better deal. But the 99, I bought it and owned it for 2 days. And on the third day, I was driving it to work, and a tie rod end came off the knuckle, and I had no control over the car. So I slid it off the road at about 30, 35 miles an hour. I slid into a sapling, a small tree, and that thing had just enough force to kind of get underneath the car and start it rolling. And so the car started to roll, and I rolled 3 times through a wooden fence, and I had fence posts flying through the car as it was rolling.